Are the Chicago Bears about to have a new starting quarterback next season? Rumors have it that the Chicago Bears and the Cincinnati Bengals are having trade talks about Andy Dalton going from the Bengals to the Chicago Bears. Like always, I'm NFL Global, and make sure you guys subscribe to this channel for all of your NFL content, whether that's trades, signings, draft news, anything that happens, you can hear about it here on this channel. It seems like this year more than ever, the quarterback situations in free agency are more wild than I think we have ever seen in any free agency before. The Bengals hold the number 1 overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, and if things go as planned, they're going to be selecting quarterback Joe Burrow. Obviously, to that being the fact, Andy Dalton is not going to be the starting quarterback of the Bengals. It's just not going to happen, okay? If the Bengals want to win more games, they want to have a better overall offense, they're going to put Joe Burrow over Andy Dalton. And of course, it's also a good idea when you're looking at their cap, okay? You have Andy Dalton who's taken up a large portion when you could have a guy like Joe Burrow taking substantially less. This is exactly why many people are speculating the fact that Andy Dalton is either going to be released or he's going to be traded. And of course, if you're the Bengals, you're going to look for a trade partner before you just try to go up and straight release him. Other teams that have been related back to Andy Dalton besides the Bears are also the New England Patriots and the Indianapolis Colts. And when the news came out, when I started doing my research for this video, a lot of people were comparing this situation to kind of a situation like last year when the Miami Dolphins released starting quarterback Ryan Tannehill, and then the Titans went and they signed him on a 1-year deal, and he blew up for them, and before you know it, became the starting quarterback of the Titans. Obviously, things have not worked out very well for former first-round pick in Mitchell Trubisky. Not much has really been said on his status or what the Chicago Bears are going to look to do with him going forward, whether they're just looking to add some depth at that position to see kind of what they can do if they can vamp up their offense, but nothing's been said if they're looking for a whole new starter or if they're just looking for a guy to kind of play up that backup role. But we have seen this happen many times where they start the one guy and then throughout the season they go, we're going to lean towards the other guy. Again, the same thing happened with the Titans. They started with Marcus Mariota. As the season progressed, it was Ryan Tannehill. In Baker Mayfield's rookie season, they started off with Tyrod Taylor, then slowly moved on to Baker Mayfield. The same thing happened last year with the Broncos. Drew Lock was not always the starter for the Broncos. He didn't really start for them until the end of that season. And I think the big thing about this trade is that if they went through and they actually traded for Andy Dalton, that this could be a little bit of a different situation than others because they're taking on a big cap for Andy Dalton and they're also giving something up. Now, I don't see them giving up much, 6th or 7th round, but again, they're looking to get rid of Andy Dalton either way if they bring in Joe Burrow. If they can't find a trade partner, then they're going to release him. So, of course, it is better to get 6th or 7th round pick than it is to just release him. The Bears have also hired former Bengals offensive coordinator Bill Lazor to fill the same job on Matt Nagy's staff in the Chicago Bears. So, of course, if they did start Dalton, that would be a lot of familiarity, which could really help get the ball rolling for that Chicago Bears offense. The Chicago Bears all around have a good team. Okay, they have good coaching staff. They have the ability to win. They've shown it season after season. They have really good pieces too. Okay, you have Cordell Patterson. You have a good special teams. You always, in and out, have a good defense. Now, they do have some holes they need to fix, but other than that, they have a defense that can 100% get the job done. The point for them here is the quarterback. The quarterback situation is not great, especially for a former first-round pick in a quarterback. There's times where Mitchell Trubisky shows a lot of good strides. It looks like, okay, he could be a starting quarterback, and then there's times where we just see nothing but inconsistency, overthrown balls, balls that don't have enough heat behind them. So, of course, if you are the Bears and you're looking to take a big step in improving your offense, it's going to be approaching that quarterback situation. Ultimately, I think that all in all, it would be a good move by the Chicago Bears to bring in a veteran like Andy Dalton because, one, you're going to be putting some heat on Mitchell Trubisky, which quite obviously he needs, but you're also bringing in a veteran who can also help mentor and teach the young Mitchell Trubisky. And if things don't work, let's say, with Mitchell Trubisky, they can turn to Andy Dalton. If things with Andy Dalton don't go as planned, well, look, you still have Mitchell Trubisky to go back to. The biggest part about this entire story is the fact that the Bears would have to take on Dalton's $17.7 million contract for this year. That, to me, is why him being traded might be on the question mark side of things because Andy Dalton is not the best quarterback ever. Let's be honest. He's average at best. He's never been to a Pro Bowl, has no playoff Super Bowl experience, and he's part of the reason why, not the only reason for sure, but part of the reason why the Cincinnati Bengals really haven't gotten anywhere. And of course, the other part to this is that if they do trade for Andy Dalton to bring on a guy with a $17.7 million contract for 1 year, that's not the type of money you pay to a guy that you're just going to sit on the bench for a whole year. Some people around the league actually believe that it would take a second or third round pick in order for the Cincinnati Bengals to actually ship him off, which I take as a very big question mark because, look, if you have Joe Burrow, you don't need Andy Dalton. In fact, it would be stupid of the Bengals to keep Andy Dalton for a 1 year, $17.7 million contract for him to just sit on the bench. And if you're the Bengals, you're also stupid to ask for something that high. Now, again, this is not the current asking price. We don't know what the current asking price is, but this is what some people around the league do believe they could be asking for. And nothing about Andy Dalton has showed he's worth a second or third round pick. Then add that $17.7 million on top of that, and you'd be doing the Cincinnati Bengals a favor. So if you're the Bears and the Cincinnati Bengals are asking for something that high, if I'm you, I'm backing out. Okay, there's a lot of great free agents on the free agency board. There's a lot of great quarterbacks in this year's draft. There's other quarterbacks that I'm sure you can trade for that are way higher quality and you don't have to give up that high compensation. Or you can try and test your luck and see, okay, if the Cincinnati Bengals do just end up releasing him, do we try and test our luck to see if we're able to sign him? There's a lot of equations and question marks still up in the air. There are some teams besides the Bears interested in Andy Dalton, but of course, this is the only team, as in the Bears, that we have heard about actually in trade talks with the Bengals for quarterback Andy Dalton. What are your guys' thoughts on this whole situation? Let me know in the comment section below, and like this video and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. But other than that, I'll catch you guys in the next video.